Most men completely misunderstand what a hug actually is. They treat it like a transition point in a conversation, something you do at the start or end of a meeting, when in reality it is one of the most information-rich, emotionally honest, and subconscious exchanges that happens between two people. A hug removes almost every layer of social performance. There is no distance to hide behind, no carefully chosen words to rely on, no controlled facial expressions from across the room. In that brief moment of physical closeness, the body starts speaking more clearly than language ever could. And the key point most men miss is this: she is not just hugging you back. She is revealing how her nervous system responds to your presence. When you understand this, you stop seeing hugs as random gestures and start seeing them as patterns of behavior. Some are short and mechanical. Some are soft but distant. Some linger just slightly longer than expected, and some feel like the entire interaction slows down for a second, as if her body forgot it was supposed to let go. These differences are not accidents. They are micro-responses shaped by comfort, emotional safety, and level of attraction. The biggest mistake men make is assuming intensity is the only signal that matters. They expect attraction to show up in obvious ways: clear signs, strong reactions, dramatic behavior. But real human psychology rarely works like that. Especially in early or uncertain attraction, everything is subtle. The nervous system does not announce its feelings. It leaks them through timing, pressure, posture, and hesitation. A rushed hug, for example, tells a completely different story than a grounded one. If a man goes in quickly, touches briefly, and pulls away instantly, it often communicates nervousness, even if he thinks he is just being polite. The body does not only interpret actions, it interprets rhythm. And in social interaction, rhythm is everything. A stable, unhurried presence signals emotional control. A chaotic or overly fast movement signals internal tension. On the other side, staying too long or forcing closeness creates the opposite problem. Instead of confidence, it can create discomfort. Attraction is never built through pushing past natural boundaries. It is built through awareness, knowing when to match, when to pause, and when to simply remain still. What actually matters most is calibration, the ability to match the moment without overcorrecting it. If she offers a quick, polite hug, the correct response is not to force intimacy. If she offers a warm, lingering embrace, the correct response is not to escape it prematurely. Most men fail not because they lack opportunity, but because they misread timing. There is also something deeper happening during a hug that most people never consciously notice. The human body constantly evaluates safety through proximity. When someone enters close physical space, the nervous system quietly asks, "Is this person safe, predictable, and non-threatening?" If the answer feels yes, the body relaxes. Shoulders drop. Breathing slows. The contact becomes softer. If the answer feels uncertain, the body tightens, even if the face still smiles. This is why emotional state matters more than technique. You cannot perform a good hug in a mechanical way. You can only bring a stable internal state into it. Calmness translates through pressure. Confidence translates through stillness. Nervousness translates through overmovement. Another detail most men overlook is how much information comes from stillness. When two people hug and neither rushes to break away, even for a second longer than expected, that pause creates meaning. It is not about calculation or strategy. It is about comfort in shared silence. That moment of not immediately separating often reveals more than the hug itself. It shows whether both people are comfortable existing in closeness without needing to escape it. But even then, one hug alone means very little. Human behavior is not defined by a single moment. It is defined by repetition. A warm hug once could mean politeness, mood, or context. But repeated patterns of comfort, repeated ease in physical closeness, and consistent relaxation over time start to form a clearer picture. Attraction is rarely proven in one interaction. It is revealed through consistency. The men who struggle the most are usually the ones trying to decode everything instantly. They treat every hug like a final answer, when in reality it is just one data point in a larger pattern. This creates anxiety, overthinking, and unnecessary pressure in interactions that should feel natural. The men who become naturally effective in social situations do something different. They stop obsessing over interpretation and start focusing on presence. Instead of asking, "What does this mean?" they focus on, "How is this moment unfolding?" That shift alone changes everything. Because when you are present, you automatically become more responsive, more grounded, and more socially aware. And here is something important most people never realize. Attraction is not built in dramatic moments. It is built in small, almost invisible ones. The way you enter space, the way you respond to closeness, the way you handle silence, the way you do not rush what does not need to be rushed. A good interaction does not feel like a performance. It feels balanced. Neither person is chasing, neither person is escaping. Everything flows at a natural pace without force. So when it comes to hugs, the real skill is not reading signals like a checklist. The real skill is emotional stability inside the moment. If you are calm, the interaction stabilizes. If you are tense, the interaction becomes uncertain. If you are present, the moment feels easy. If you are overthinking, the moment feels heavy. In the end, a hug is never just a hug. It is a reflection of comfort, timing, and emotional alignment between two people. And the more you try to force meaning out of it, the more you miss what is actually happening. The real advantage is not decoding every detail perfectly. It is becoming the kind of person whose presence makes those details naturally positive in the first place.